on the computer. And we are live on Facebook. So first of all, Tamara, I want to say thank you so much for coming on and doing this at the last minute with me. We're here to talk a little bit about our Saturday sun magic, but we're more importantly here to talk about this Aquarian huge energy that we've sitting on the prefaces of. We've had a little preview and we'll be dealing with most of this year. And Saturday is a remarkable day. And we had a conversation this morning and we started talking about both of us are getting things about streams and flow and all of these things. And of course, Aquarius is a thinking. So why are we getting about water? So it's
I
the
know,
water.
Kitty, it's my pleasure to be here with you. I'm so happy that we're doing this to probably validate for a lot of people, right? Because when you and I started talking, it was validation of what we're experiencing in our physical being. So yeah, I hope a lot of people resonate with what's happening. And Saturday, like you said, is going to be such a major shift in all of our energy centers and whatnot. So yeah, I'm hoping to see everybody on Saturday for Sun Magic. And if not, like we were
Do
talking earlier, do something.
do
Yeah.
something to honor this amazing, uh, extraordinary. I'm going to use that
I like it.
extraordinary, um, and energy. So we have the sun moving in the morning, and we have Pluto that has been shaking us, especially since January in this last degree of Capricorn. Capricorn is our structures, and we've been pulling apart structures. Earthquake, coastal storms, huge snowfalls, unbelievable ice. In Florida, where we both are, we haven't seen the sun. Sunny Florida, not so much. And it's been
No.
cool, and all the tributaries, all the rivers, all the ponds are rising. And this is those last degrees of Capricorn. And this is the second time we've gone over these degrees. And we have yet one more time to go over, um, right in October, November, but much shorter, September through November 19th. And it's like all these water messages.
Well,
Well,
that's what I was asking. Is it's moving into Aquarius, which I don't know much about all of the astrology side of it, but that's an air sign, right? That's thinking. So
mhm.
why so much water? Why so much water flowing? Because I know inside of me, water has been flowing for the last few days. And like you said, outwards as well, we see this happening. So what is this about?
So Aquarian is a water bearer, and the thought of Aquarian, he's really not into the emotional piece of it, but he carries the water as a new consciousness to pour out. It's this water is about the emotional healthiness. It's not about our personal human manager, aka ego, our personal feeling. It's about the collective. As a matter of fact, the kind of denser expression of Aquarius is I don't want to get my hands wet. I don't want to get in that icky water piece, but that is human beings. And it is the Aquarian energy that wants us to use logic as we deal with our emotions, not ignore them, but how do we understand this embracing of a new consciousness? And part of our consciousness is emotional healthiness, is doing those things. And that's why these water messages, these wind messages with air, it's mainly air and water, earthquakes, moving our very foundation that is our stepping forward. I mean, I think we had 4 major earthquakes across the country, across the world just last week. And we even had one in Oklahoma in the United States in the middle of winter. So, it's using the logic. I'm looking at my notes. Um, that is free of personal feelings and ego or human manager. How do
Hmm.
we get these tributaries to flow? How do we get so that it's that I'm going to hold the best version of myself because that allows me to hold the best version of mankind. And that's what Saturday is. That,
So movement, get moving, right? Opening up those, I'm hearing dams, like the dams in our body that have been blockages or whatnot, that have built up, right? Get them moving to help flow, help things move, and
right. Now,
yeah,
you and I are coming on at 9:30 on Saturday, to
yes.
do our yoga meditation where we talk about what's going on astrologically, and Tamra, the master, helps us move it in our body. It's root chakra. So that's the other thing. It's very earth. This Aquarian energy is really very interesting because it's got the emotional, I'm pouring the water out. It is the root chakra because it's our consciousness, our awareness of our body. So even if you're not going to make our program, this isn't just about a promotion to come to Sun Magic.
No.
It's do something,
Yes.
something that holds the best version of you. And Aquarian is vision. We were
So
talking.
dancing, right? Dancing would be movement and bringing out the best in so many of us. Going for a walk if your weather permits, even breath work, like in our last Sun Magic when we talked about, you don't necessarily have to move the physical body in order to get that energy moving. Breath work is a great way of doing it too. Anything that's going to get things moving and welcoming in is
And if
key
you
for Saturday.
and if you feel the energy to create, that's a kind of movement too.
Yes,
It's
movement.
bringing
Yep.
into a consciousness. Again, we're trying to hold a consciousness because this is the last of the air signs in the series, and it's the collective energy. It is revolutionary energy. And with this, again, this Pluto placement of moving into Aquarius at 0 degrees. So the sun's at 0, our engine, and so is this Pluto transformational, the deep dive into what is taboo to bring the light out, this transformational, it's the cycle of birth and death. It's at 0. It's resetting our karma. There is such a glimpse that happens for all of us if we take the time to ground, get in touch with that root chakra, and move on Saturday. It's a preview for you. Not very often do I really understand that spirit's saying, hey, take a look. What consciousness do you want? You know, it's I'm so excited about it and trying to get the message out to do something. I don't paint, you know, run with your children, whatever it is
Yes.
that you're called
And
to do.
notice the physical symptoms that are coming with it. Maybe symptoms isn't the best word, but physical changes or physical feelings in the body, right? Because it's an indicator of where it's working in your system.
Mhm.
Don't you feel? I know you mentioned your back. You've been feeling in your back, that Kundalini energy making its way up, clearing out that spinal column. For me, it's been all in the head, just pouring out of liquids. So notice these little things inside of your world, right? Externally or internally. I've noticed in my home, my kids have been redecorating their rooms and doing these little things. So again, movement, right? Changing up the environment, changing that stagnant energy of where it's been collected. So it's very fascinating on how all the ways it's presenting itself, both internally and externally.
It's very conscious. It's very much about setting that intention on Saturday to the best version of me. If I hold the best version of me, I hold that space for the collective. And that, I'm not even quite, I can feel the magnitude of it. And you said something that I love you to repeat about understanding.
What I
I don't,
say.
well, I don't quite understand it. And
Oh,
yeah,
right, exactly. Like our ego always wants to know why and what is happening and what make it make sense, right? But it's not necessary for our mind and for us as humans to understand and know the bigger picture or understand what's going on for our spirit to receive, right? So just creating an environment to allow the receptivity is all we have to do. We don't have to understand every detail of it and every part of it. Just creating an environment of allowance of receiving, right, is really all our
yeah,
job is to do here. Yeah.
and that's brilliant because I feel the magnitude, I sense the magnitude, my understanding, which is a word of my year, and then right as soon as I say understanding, the word patience gets whispered right behind. Um, uh, that's so important, as I call the ego the human manager because it's always trying to figure something out. It's always trying to do a pattern. It's always looking at those things. And we can say to our manager, we're just going to do this and trust. And when you work in management, sometimes you do that. Let's just do this and see what happens. That is often that piece of it. And we need that part of us. I'm double checking to see if there's any comments coming on. And
Oh,
yeah,
Teresa's on. Hello, Teresa.
hi, my friend Teresa. Kat's on. Sue Miller's on. Hi, guys. Um,
Hello.
I love Teresa. This is spot on with emotion air. It is blowing snow here, working emotions, using assessment to move forward. Beautiful.
Oh, I like that. Using assessment to move forward. That's going back to that logical piece, being practical, right? And
Right.
grounded. Again, more earth. So awesome. Yeah.
This is the root chakra. It's so funny that this cosmic air energy is in the root chakra.
Earth, yeah.
It's earth. It's what binds us together. It's what we work in the commonality, because this is about the we. If I hold my best I create the we internally that I know can exist. I manifest it. And so do
And the
some.
earth makes so much sense, right? The grounding, because if it is all of this upper chakra work, all this higher thinking and ascension, and we need mother to hold us down and to keep us grounded, right? Like, so it makes complete sense that it's earth energy that we're working with here on top of the mental aspect.
And to go back to karmic reset, karmic reset, karmic reset. You can cut cords. Maybe that's what you're called to do, is to have a cord cutting ceremony for yourself, or to burn something, or to whatever resonates with you is important. It's a very physical expression of this conscious collectiveness. And
Taking inspired action, right? Taking whatever that means. And I love the fact you brought up cord cutting, because cord cutting doesn't have to, I think we associate it with a person a lot of times, but it doesn't have to be with a person. It could be with a belief system, right? It could be with an old habit. It could be with so many things, an older version of yourself. So
right.
yeah, I love that cord cutting idea, Kitty. I think I
Yeah,
might have
well,
to
and
incorporate that.
here's a big one. Have fun. Have fun.
Yes.
Now, Aquarius energy is in charge of the house of friends and blessings. So do it
Oh,
in a group. That would be the other thing, is find something group, or create your own group, or, sit with your council. It is friends and blessings. Have some fun with this. This is what we're trying to create, the consciousness of joy, the consciousness of, you know, um I want to move away from the game. Ain't it awful? I, isn't it beautiful? Playing games would be another physical thing,
yeah,
something that is
exactly.
fun, something that connects you to other people in the best version of myself. And being very conscious of that. um Celebrate the joy of the age of Aquarius.
Love it.
And it is,
It feels like an exciting time, right? I know the unknown because, like you said, you sense something big, something that we don't really understand. We can feel it, we know it, we sense it, but it has like this air of excitement to
yeah,
it.
and it has a really big air of excitement. It's a
Yeah.
magnitude feeling. And look, at the Earth's been shaking herself, wobbling herself, raining on herself, freezing herself to move things through, to take things around. Hi, Kat. Hi, Sue. They've joined us here
Oh,
live,
nice.
and it's yeah, um, it just tapping into the joy of our connectedness, the consciousness, consciously doing this. This is why, Aquarian energy is pouring something out in the creation. Water is creation, the ultimate creation. And
Wow, very true.
it is really an exciting thing to, how can I bring into my thoughts the existence of this life force, this whole piece of it? And it is to ground my butt,
Yeah.
to really be in touch through my sensory system, to keep me from being, the denser expression of Aquarius is the detachment from the root, which is why the root's in charge of Aquarius. Um, and it's to celebrate our uniqueness. It really is. That is we are all a half a bubble off plum, and yay,
Yes.
yay. So we were talking today, and I said, let's just go on and talk about this, whatever it is. Please join us in Sun Magic. We would love to have you 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll do this. It'll be movement. And if that doesn't work for you, fine. We're not saying this is, you need to do this. This will help you. It will help
No,
you.
but what a
Yeah.
great way too, though, like you said, to be with others, right? So to be with like-hearted and like-minded people in that morning to welcome in this energy is a really beautiful way. And it's early enough in the day to where you're going to have your whole day to do whatever other rituals and whatnot to do. I'm really looking forward to it. And I do hope that some join our Zoom. So we're actually, instead, watching online on Facebook is awesome too, but there's something special about being on the Zoom together when we share this and adding into the energy that Kitty and I are putting out for the day. So we'd really love for you to join us on Zoom as well and be a
And
part
I
of,
will post the link, and
yeah.
Tamara will be posting a link. And it's very interesting because we are holding the sun as our engine, how we move forward. And we are holding this celebration of this Aquarian energy, but we are still in the last moments of reshaking our structures. So that's the other important piece of spending the day doing something. Let me really, in this shaking of my structures, this topographical map, because Capricorn is the energy of what is important to us. That's the other reason to spend the day. And then it goes into the vision and resets for you. So something may, well, I know something will occur to you if you take the time to go, I'm resetting this piece. So it's an amazing, um, it's not quite 12 hours between the sun entering and Pluto entering. So
Okay.
I think it's 11, personal favorite number of mine, right around there.
Wow.
Um, and so, this is a
So
day.
astrologically speaking, Kitty, on a simple level, like what is it that we should be looking for in our charts? Is there a certain like where Pluto hits our charts or where
Certainly where Pluto
Aquarius?
is, and where Pluto is in your chart, look at the house, because that's where the conversation
Okay.
in your life is taking place. Anything at 29 degrees or zero, because those are degrees are like electricity is coming
Oh,
through to those. Um,
okay.
and so, and we have Mars, and we have Mars, which is our will. We have Mercury, which is our communication, our experience, also in Capricorn. So as that last degree is shaking in Pluto, there'll be things to say. There'll be things for me being called to do. And our other daily energy of uh, Venus is in truth. So truths are coming through our experience of truth, our stability of truth in that vision. Again, this is that whole vision piece, that revolutionary energy that understands we are limitless. And my mind isn't going to, I'm really pushing to let that come through. So I would look at where Pluto is and what house it's taking place. Mine happens to be in the eighth house. And so the eighth house is the house of transformation. So I'm going to be working on things that are change. And sometimes for me, because I have a lot of Scorpio, I'm very need Taurus. I need to go and slowly move and look at my environment. So just kind of taking a look at that. And of course, I'm Pluto in Virgo, which is all about little pieces. What little pieces can I transform? You can look at the energy it's in, but I think more importantly, look at the house it's in. What area in your life? Of course, your sun's going to be lit up because we're moving our sun. But what area in our life is asking us to look at transformation? And my area is transformation of small pieces. So it's such a new
Very
consciousness, a new
exciting.
understanding. So, it's a great day in your movement to journal, you know, draw a picture of what the vision of your life would be like. Write yourself a letter. Hey, this is, what's the best version of me? And that's what I keep hearing is tune in to what the best version of me is I can ground into in this
Yes.
moment, in this very present. It's not about the future. It's in the present
Now.
day on the 20th, the now. What's the best version of me so I can hold that space for everyone else? So, and like you said about, you don't have to really understand. As
No.
as spirit whispers, patience. The
Mm,
understanding is enfolding into the consciousness. So it's very, very cool. Um, if somebody is watching this and they can't make our thing, is there one movement for rooting into your root chakra you would recommend people try? Like I just heard this week about the Wonder Woman pose, that if you stand in the Wonder Woman pose, that really does align
well,
chakras.
I was gonna say Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So same concept, right? Rooting down our feet, our soul star chakras into the earth, and allowing the crown to reach up towards the sun. So you get this pure channel of energy, right? And it really centers you and grounds you. So Tadasana is which is mountain pose. You just stand upright with your palms facing out by your sides, back straight, and feet rooting down. And everybody can do this pose as long as you can stand, right? So that's probably what my go-to would be for everybody to just, and maybe go stand out in the sun, even if it's just for a moment. I know some of us are in freezing weather or whatnot, but just to go out and stand in this straight, erect
So,
stance of intention based standing
like,
and
get out
breathing,
of bed
right?
and stand in this pose. I'm
Yeah.
greeting the day. My hand,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah, start the day. I love that. I will do the mountain pose. Get out of bed and my while my dogs are jumping on me like, "Oh," I'm like, no, you're
Yeah.
gonna be my mountain right now.
Yes.
So
Yeah. And it keeps you strong and stable, right? Because that's a part of this whole thing. With all these energies coming into us, it's important for us to be this vessel, this container, this strength, this, to be able to contain all the new energy that's coming in. So remembering that you are strong and that you are stable and reinforcing that through the pose would be great.
oh, I just see Joanne just joined us. Joanne, tell me what the vibration number is, because that's another thing to tune in. Whatever resonates with you. Astrology may, yoga may, numerology. It's the intention, as Tamara said. It's kind of a day to have that smorgasbord. Well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to try this, and I'm going to, you know, just we don't have to understand it. Just let it come through us. I love that idea. I'm going to get up and I am going to make the commitment to stand in mountain pose. Um,
Nice.
how long do you stand in a pose?
Well, I would say follow, right? Follow what's comes to you. There's no right or wrong. Okay. So you're gonna feel the energy. And once that energy passes and it's over, then you're done, right? So there's no right or wrong. I think bigger picture is following your intuition and being, like you keep saying, your best self. So if that means standing there for 5 minutes and being disciplined, then do that. If it means just doing it for a quick moment and moving on to the next because that's where you're most comfortable at, then do that. But definitely honoring who you are in that moment, I
So,
think is the best.
so Joanne, I'm asking for January 20th what the number vibration is. Because she said for today or for the 20th, for the,
Oh, oh,
the
oh, oh.
20th. And by the way, if you get up and you forget and you know, compassion for yourself. That's part of being
Yes.
your best self.
Best self.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, aren't we funny? Let's do it now. You know,
Yes.
there's not a wrong time
No,
in
and trust the fact that if you didn't do it when you first woke up and you're doing it in in whatever moment, trust that that's the moment you're meant to be doing it at, right? That's the energy that's coming through in that moment that is right for you. So trust that. Whatever's right for me does not mean it's right for you, and vice versa.
right.
So,
This is the
yeah.
water bearer pouring out the consciousness, pouring it out to have us pay attention to it. What we're asking you is to right now make some kind of commitment for some piece of the day that you'll set it aside. I'm asking you to help me, help Tamara, help everyone hold the best space for the vision of who we are. And might be a great day, in my opinion, to turn off the TV and not get um, in that whirl, and or to see it and say, oh, that's what it is. um so yeah, it is. What is something that day, just to honor it, even if it's only a moment. Hold the
Yep.
best version of yourself in the moment. And
Intentional breaths, even if it's just a few intentional, anything, like Kitty said, anything that day that has the intention of receiving and moving the energy and accepting. Yeah, I think that's. Did we get the number? Do we know?
I don't know, Joanne, are you figuring out the number for January 20th? I hope. Um Oh, it's 11. Of course it is. Master healer, healing your body within. Embody the physical and spiritualness of holistic. Now, Joanne was not on the beginning of this call. She just
Uh-uh.
jumped on. So when she goes back and listens, I hope her whole system lights up. And that's exactly what we talked about.
Yep.
The best version of me. And it's very much the physical and the spiritual. It's coming into the consciousness, tapping into the body. Tamara, is there a breath to a special kind of breath too that might be helpful?
I'm always a fan of Nadi Shodhana. And I think that's probably going to be the best one that I could recommend for this. And this is Nadi Shodhana is the alternate nostril breath, where you close off one side and you inhale up, you close off the other and exhale down. With or without the hands, right? You can do it psychically to where you just envision the energy coming up from the earth through your feet all the way up one side of your body, resting for just a moment, and then washing away down the other side of the body, from the crown down. So I think that would be my biggest recommendation for that day, is allowing that earth energy to come up, allowing the sun to wash it all back down, and creating this beautiful cycle within you would be my recommendation.
My smile was, I said to her, I was laying in bed today, and I don't know why, but I was pulling up from coming down one side, rooting, pulling up that same side I just rooted, came in down the other side and rooting, but I'd stop at my head. And she goes, Kitty, that is, she
Yep.
said it. So I'm like,
Yeah, so I definitely, and that's my go-to breath for pretty much everything in life, right? Because it balances the right and left side of the brain. It balances the masculine and feminine aspects of us. It brings in that earth energy with the sun. It's just, it's such a beautiful breath, and and there's really no contradictions to it. If you have a deviated septum, just don't do it without the hands, just do it psychically. Other than that, pretty much everybody can do Nadi Shodhana, and it's a really beautiful breath, and it's super powerful. So that would be
and
my recommendation.
Joanne is also adding that this activates that 8 chakra too, that soul star
Soul star
chakra.
chakra, exactly.
Yes, and
Yes.
it's so these are just like two, the mountain pose, the breathing, something that even in the day, if you stop and do something, and the fact that it's 11, the master healer, one falls away, one remains, a personal, obvious favorite of mine, that number. It's important because that makes so much sense that we are master healing the master race. We are connecting to it. It's a healing. I hold the best version of me and I heal the bigger space. And that's why we're asking, pleading, laughing, dancing, whatever we can.
Dancing. I keep hearing dancing. I think everybody needs to shake on Saturday. Something. Just
Hey,
do a little.
when the moon is in the seventh house, put on the age of Aquarius, dance, embrace it.
Dance.
And I'm asking for a uh, personal reason because I want to create that best space for my grandchildren, for me, for who's coming through. And it is nothing we can do on our own. We can take care of ourselves in the best version of our own, but then we hold that space for the we, the collective. And it is a shift, and this is a huge shift as we step forward. Anyway, Tamara, you have any last words of wisdom? Thank you, all these
No,
people.
this was great. I'm so
Jackie
happy.
just jumped down. Hey,
Oh,
Jackie.
hey,
Um,
Jackie.
we just wanted to come out and say, please, something, join us on Sun Magic. If that's not, use the mountain pose that day. Use, my favorite question to ask people, I've asked Tamara, I actually asked Jackie this morning, what are you willing to do to help yourself that day? To take the best care of yourself, to be the best version of yourself that do? What are you willing to do? And please tap into it. For me as Oma, Mrs. Foss, Kitty Foss, all of those things. And for Tamra and Nona and all of those other roles, we're asking for you to help us hold the space. So what would you
Yes,
be?
I think that's great, Kitty. I think that really sums up everything we just talked about, right? Whatever it means to be your best self, creating that moment, allowing that energy in, not worrying about understanding it all, just knowing that you're allowing and being receptive, and movement. Allow that energy to move through you and remove any stagnant blockages or dams that have been built up into the system. I think that's the
Oh,
overall takeaway from
and Sarah wrote, Grey's Anatomy calls it the hero pose. And as the storytelling astrologer, I always tell you, become the hero in your own
your own
life,
story. Yep.
your own story. So on Saturday, tap into how I am the hero in my own life. So I love that. Thank you
Me
all for
too.
coming on. Please share this. I'm going to upload it so you can make it to all of your friends. Ask your friends, ask your sites, ask anyone. Please be a part of this. You don't have to go do anything in particular, but do
Something.
something. All right. Much love, everybody.
Thank you, Kitty.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
I have to get out of the live link. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Bye.